All right, good morning. Appreciate everybody being here. I was coming off a game on Saturday night. Getting a chance to go back and watch the film. I thought it was a good game for us, and one that we talked to our team beforehand about trying to put on display the identity of who we are. You have an emotional game week one, right? Coming into week two, short week. Having to kind of condense our schedule in a few ways to get prepared, to get ready, and I thought our guys came out and really did a good job throughout the game. They played for 60 minutes. We were able to, I think we played 102 players, which is the most I've ever played in a game before, which was a great experience and a great opportunity for guys to kind of showcase where they are. A lot of great young players got extensive experience, and I think that's going to be something that we can build upon. I thought our defense, especially our first defense, was dominant throughout. That was an offense that's well coached. I mean, they have a talented back that I think is really good player. It's a good skill position guys. But I mean, I thought our defensive front was great. Was a great forcing unit. I thought we were improved in our communication in the back end. There were still like 2 or 3 plays where we've got to be better. Just in certain adjustments where we let guys get free, but great pass rush. Forced quick throws in those situations. I was really pleased with the way that our defense came out, and the way that they were able to play for 60 minutes. Offensively, I thought we did a good job of our response. We had some missed opportunities. There were some plays that we definitely left out there, but those guys continued to fight, continue to work. I think we played maybe 50 snaps in the first half, which was kind of what we wanted to do. We wanted to try to push the tempo. We wanted to try to wear those guys down, knowing if we got in the second half, to be able to really establish the run game. And I thought our backs ran hard. I thought our O-line did a good job creating some seams. But like I said, we had a few missed opportunities, but then we had some great plays, by guys out on the perimeter as well. So to come out of that game and to have some disappointing moments and still have the margin of victory of what it was. I think a Southern Miss team is going to be a good team. I think they're going to compete in their conference. And I mean, they played really hard, so it was a good test for us. I was proud of our guys and the response, and that gets us into this week. Open up ACC play, going on the road, playing a Boston College team, that's tough. They're physical. Their offensive line is really they've got a lot of new guys back. Last year they really dealt with a lot of injuries. That was tough and challenging for them. They're gonna try to create movement up front. They made a switch at quarterback with Thomas Castellanos now starting at quarterback. Thomas is somebody that we recruited. We were looking at him as a running back, athlete, as he was coming out, and I mean he's really done a nice job. He went to UCF, now transferred up to Boston College, and you see the playmaking ability that he has, and he's a great player in high school. Somebody that you absolutely have to work to contain. They got a couple guys on the perimeter that can run and create separation. So it's going to be a good matchup. It's one that our guys we're excited to get started in conference, and we understand what we want to achieve and what we want to do. This is the first step when it comes to coming into conference play. This is a big game up at BC. I mean, this is their bandana game. Wells Crowther, the young man that played for them years back, and actually on September 11th, lost his life helping others. They're going into the towers before they collapsed, and it's a game that will honor him and his legacy. I talked to our team about that a little bit last night. Just out of respect for Wells and just the family and all that he embodied, and so this will be an emotional game. There'll be I'm sure it'll be a great atmosphere there, and it's an opportunity for us to go on the road and kick off conference play, which we're definitely excited about.
First question will be Ira, second row, right?
Different kind of 2-for-1, and that's about 2 different guys in one question. Darion Williamson is shown his flashing potential. How good was it to see him healthy again, playing the way he did, and then also how far does Deuce Spann come?
No, I mean, it's both those guys, were guys coming out of the game that I was really proud of. They didn't play perfect games. There's things that they have to, some mistakes they got to clean up. But I mean, for Darion to have that first touchdown, he's a guy that's had to battle injuries. He's had to overcome some challenging situations. But he's really coming into his own as a player, and it was great to see him make the that big play. And obviously had a couple throughout the game, and just really like what he brings to our wide receiver room. He's explosive. He's big. He's fast. He's got great ball skills, and I mean he's I think he's a dynamic guy in special teams units too. So it was great to have him back out there. And then Deuce Spann, when Deuce came here, we were basically starting from square one. I mean, Deuce was a transitioning quarterback, moving to the receiver position. So he's had to learn a lot, and that process, it sometimes takes time. But if you watch him, I would say probably one of the most improved players on our football team. When you take just his route running ability, the things that he's done, he's definitely explosive when you get the ball in his hands. He's got great speed, probably one of the faster players on our football team. But to see him make the difficult catch coming across the middle, and just then he obviously with the speed sweep later in the game, was an explosive play, and I'm proud of him for his growth, and you adding that into the room that we have. I mean, it allows you to work to keep those guys fresh, and and be able to have a great rotation where we can always continue to apply pressure on defensive backfields. We're hopeful that we'll get Tron back, here soon. He's working through it. I know I mentioned Jakai at the beginning, last week, and so we were down a few guys, but I mean, I thought Akeem Williams, who came in and had a 4th down conversion, which I'm really proud of him for. I think the last 3 weeks, I mean, he's really taken some major leaps and bounds there at the receiver position, and you see just a variety of different guys. Vendrius Jacobs scores a touchdown there late, which I was proud of him. Destin Hill had a big catch. We got a really good group. Winston Wright, had a couple really nice return, and still doing some good things there offensively. So I know it's a broader question, but I mean it's a response to the question. But I'm excited about that road and the continued growth and development. Like I said, we had some missed opportunities there. Where guys got the ball in their hands and just weren't able to finish it going to the ground. So it's something that we're looking at, just as coaches, to make sure we continue to implement drills to help with that, because it wasn't just like there weren't a whole lot of just straight drops. It's like guys could catch the ball, but when they got to the ground, just weren't able to continue to secure and finish the play. And then there were some good plays that Southern Miss defensive backs made as well. I mean, a couple of vertical passes. So that's something that we're challenging our guys with, and looking forward to seeing them get better.
Go to Brendan here on the left.
Kind of a follow-up to that, what is the message to Johnny Wilson this week? Make sure he's in a good spot mentally and just moving forward.
I mean, it's you just go get better. I mean, Johnny's a great player, and he was. You did a good job, in his routes. Obviously you put himself in a good position. Just had a couple times when he hit the ground, the ball rattled loose, and nobody wants that in that moment. But it's what happened, and so you learn from it, you get better, and I'm definitely excited for him to get a chance to respond. And but he doesn't. He knows what he needs to do, and he's like I love his attitude, his work ethic. He's gonna come back, and he'll be in great shape for it.
Next will be Essen, 3rd row on your left.
You've talked a lot about the young defensive back group that you have. How much they got a lot of playing time. I think there's a couple of snaps. How big was that playing time for them, and what do you see from them this game?
No, it was great, because you got to see. It's one thing to see it in practice, but it's another thing when they have to go out there on the field. And it's more than anything, it's the communication. It's trusting your eyes, trusting your keys. And there were some good and bad when it came to that. But for a young freshman, everybody wants to play. Everybody wants to have an opportunity to get out there and make an impact. And there were some really good things that showed up. I thought we had 2 opportunities at interceptions that we got to make sure we finished. But I thought those guys competed. They battled. It was good to see a larger workload that they had to that they got to work through. But there's still some things with their eyes and just particular communication that was great for us to be able to go back yesterday and try to help build the confidence in what and how they need to do things. And so definitely fired up about that. I thought our linebackers, a guy that really stood out to me was Blake Nicholson. I know it's not defensive back, but I mean, he had an unbelievable play on a wheel route. He did everything. I mean, on some of our special teams units, I mean, I'm really excited about where he's going. I know Justin Cryer got some good work there, linebacker as well, DeMarco Ward. So it was good to see some of those young backers get in there as well. So I thought it was a good workload.
I'll come back to the front row for Chris.
Hakeem Dan, obviously, where all the group is ground, maybe he's healing. Just wondering if there's any update on that.
We'll see we'll track how everything goes this week. We got a couple guys that missed the game. We were down, Rob and Maurice there on the offensive line. We'll see where that goes here this week. Obviously Hakeem went down in the game, was not able to return. Johnny, went down, was not able to return. But we'll see how they progress. I thought they came in well last night. As we were able to get start getting treatment and things like that. So I'll give you probably a better sense of it as the week progresses.
Go to the right side for Kurt.
You talked about Hakeem, the catch he made. I know he had a really impressive block downfield on Brock's run as well. I guess, how have you seen him take to that? It seems like he enjoys that aspect of the game, and when a guy is able to put in that kind of effort, how much does that help you? I mean, be more willing to play him more, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, he's definitely put himself in a position. And I think for him, he's just getting in shape. His first 9 months here, I mean, it was a process. And so, but you see now that he's in shape, you see him starting to utilize his mind, his fundamentals, being able to apply the technique. He definitely got the want to, and that's something that, he's a great young man. I think he's got a special future, and definitely excited about what he's bringing to that receiver room. But when you have that type of work ethic and that type of passion to get better, I mean, good things are going to happen. And now that he's gotten to a point where he's in much better shape, we're able to see better flashes of what we think he's going to become.
This will be Corey, second row on the right.
I know the answer to this is probably no, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
No.
Do you allow yourself to embrace what this program has become, considering where it was 2 years ago, 18 months ago, when we were in here interviewing you after games and before games, number 3 team in the country, real championship aspirations? Do you allow yourself to appreciate
Appreciate or embrace both.
Take both. Take
Okay.
both.
I mean, yes, there's an appreciation for where we've come, because I watch our players work. I watch what they put into it. I see how hard our coaches coach. I see, the program-wide investment to see guys, believe, get better, and then you obviously respond to the situations that we've found ourselves in. So I appreciate that. Embrace, man. There's no difference in how I approach. Well, somebody says that we're highly rated or highly ranked, whatever or not. None of that matters. It's about what we are willing to do when we show up and when we go to work. I believe in this team. I believe in this team, for what they've been through. I believe in this team for the guys that have said yes to come be a part of it, and the challenge that are presented to them, when they were making that choice. We're very transparent. I want guys to know exactly what they're coming into when they come into this family. And for the ones that have said yes, man, I'm really proud of them. And it's a daily challenge for us to and that's why last week was a big game for us. Like, people, you can take nothing for granted. And it was, to me, we didn't play a perfect game. We had a big victory, and that was great. But it was more, to see the approach, to see our guys work throughout the course of the week. And there were some moments where it was up and down. I think I talked about that a little bit on Wednesday. But watching them on Friday, you seeing the GPS data, like, that was the most explosive moments we had in a practice, right? Since we've been here in a game week. And to do that on a short week, like, that shows you intent. And like, I respect that from our players. And so the new expectation, right, needs to be better than that. And that's where you continue to push for best. And that's what, I think our guys embrace it. They don't always like it. I mean, it's just like anything. I mean, we all want to take a deep breath. We all want to be able to have a relaxing moment. So, yes, there's an appreciation, but there's also responsibility that comes with the steps that we've taken to go get better, and that's what we're continuing to push to do.
We'll come back to Brendan, front row on your left.
You praised the run game earlier on. I guess what stood out about what you guys do well this past week, and then specifically Keziah Holmes, how did he do when he got his opportunities?
It was good. I thought there were some explosive runs. The offensive line did a really nice job. There was a few mistakes that we had. We had guys playing in different positions. Some guys getting more opportunity. I thought Darius Washington. I just can't say enough about him. Like he's remarkable. He could literally play all 5 positions. And to go in there at center, he managed the game well. Like I said, it wasn't a perfect game, but I mean he really did a good job of going in there and making a positive impact. And it was a game as we continued to go through it. We wanted to be able to continue to lean on. We threw the ball a lot early, and that was part of my thought process. I mean, in being able to attack and to force those guys to run, and then obviously to be able to have some of the tempo as we got up into the 40 and 50 plays. I thought we really started to lean on those guys pretty good, and open up some big seams, and our backs did a great job of being able to convert on that. And really, every back had a good run in that game, and it was obviously Trey had the 3 touchdowns. Keziah was great seeing him get in the open field. Have his touchdowns. Rodney Hill had a big run. Morcell Feely had a big run. Even C.J. Campbell had a couple really nice runs. So I mean it was great to see those guys and how they were able to take advantage of it. But I thought our O-line did a really nice job alongside of our tight ends.
We're good. We'll go to Allison. And then Ira.
Coach, kind of expanding on what Corey asked, but just because this team so highly ranked now, and I asked you about the maturity of them on Saturday, but who do you turn to? Do you have to direct them, like guys stay focused? Is that an internal thing? Do they do that? And what's kind of the mindset, I guess, of this team right now?
It's all. I mean, it's coaches. Right? It's all of us, and that's where for me, the mindset that I bring to practice, the mindset I bring to meeting, that's I've got to work hard to live to be the example for them. And we got great players, and we got great young men that want to achieve greatness. They want to get better. And so we have the opportunity. It's just what we do with that opportunity. And so it's the older guys that have lived it, they probably we built that trust throughout time. But it's for the newcomers. Sometimes you got to paint the picture for them. But when they see the older guys and the investment, the work, like last night we did our developmental practice with some of the guys that don't get as many reps, and just a little extra time for those guys to be able to kind of showcase themselves, the growth, and I thought it was one of our best days we've had since I've been here. And I mean those young guys, they came in there and it was impressive, the urgency, the drive, the fundamental focus that it came with. And so and that's necessary, because you never know at what point we might be calling on one of those guys to have to go in there and make a play. But it's everybody, and that's what makes this game so special, because if I'm just talking to one, or I'm just talking to a couple, and we only have 75% of our guys that are getting better, well, that 25 is going to show up, and obviously we got to make sure that there is that sense of urgency across our program, and that's never going to change. And it's something that we talk about throughout the year, and that's all I always say. Florida State's not for everybody. It's just for the real ones, the ones that truly desire to do something special, and you see that in the way that our guys are working.
All right, last one will be Ira.
We talked to Jarian a couple weeks ago, and he said that when he first got here, you guys had just gotten here, and the program wasn't what it needed to be. But he said over the last year or two, he's really come to just trust you and the staff completely. Like, was he a guy? Did you know that he could be this kind of a leader in terms of? I mean, Jared Verse said Jarian was one of the guys that convinced him to come back. And did you see that in him when he first got here, or how has that relationship kind of grown?
I love Jared, and I mean just who he is and the growth that I've seen, and that's where leadership comes through example and experience. And he's had to grow up. He's had to grow up a lot in his time here, from day one to where he is now. And that was a really good moment. I loved watching him get that pick six the other day, and it was just he's faced adversity. He's had to overcome challenge, but I mean we talk about that buying and building trust. I mean that's hard earned, and he's made the choice, because we're not changing to the standard of how we're gonna operate, and, you know, he made the choice to. And, you know, when guys see that growth in an individual that has talent, that has ability, you know, he's had to overcome some challenging moments where maybe people doubted or questioned, or, you know, and for him to be able to block that out and just focus on getting better. And now you're seeing his best game, you know, on display, and, you know, he's still gonna get better throughout the course of the season. But, you know, that's a young man that his leadership has come from his experience and the willingness to push and to overcome in those situations. So, yeah, he's one that I think has earned the leadership role, you know, through that, and, you know, I'm just really proud of him.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, you guys have a great day.
Thank you.